Today, for this illusionary death battle, I'm gonna give you all the illusion that I know what the hell I'm talking about. Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my death battle prediction videos. So, next time on Death Battle, after Korra vs Storm, we've got Madara Uchiha from Naruto versus Sosuke Aizen from Bleach. And I personally am really excited for this fight. This is a long-awaited fight for so many people, myself included, and I'm very excited that we're actually getting it in the anniversary season. I know it has the potential to be super toxic, like maybe even more toxic than Dio versus Alucard, but still, I don't think Death Battle should stray away from certain fights just because they have the potential to be toxic, especially if they're really, really good, and this to me is a really, really cool and interesting fight idea. I think it has the potential to be really awesome when put to animation. One thing that's pretty obvious about this fight right off the bat is that we're probably going to get one of the highest Naruto universe calculations that we've ever seen. Obviously, Madara scales way higher than the blowing the hole through the moon feat, because he scales way higher than base form Naruto. Now, to be fair, that blast through the moon required all of Naruto's base chakra, meaning that that blast is more so equivalent to his entire energy reserve rather than the amount of power that he can just exert attack per attack per attack. But still, it shows us the scope that we're working with here. Naruto in higher forms, of course, is able to take a blast that, slice the moon in half, and most definitely even higher. So for Madara, in all likelihood, we're looking at some really impressive numbers for his peak, ranging from that moon slice all the way up to past planet level. I could see them putting him at that level as well. Again, it's hard to lock down an exact number because we haven't seen anything higher than moon level for Naruto on Death Battle before, but still, in all likelihood, that is the range we're looking at for Madara. Now, Aizen, on the other hand, is a little harder to say in regards to power. Of course, they've had a Bleach character on the show before as well in the form of Naruto versus Ichigo, but I think it would be very foolish to just assume that they're going to place Aizen at the same level that they placed Ichigo like 4 years ago at this point, you know what I mean? And it's also tough because there's been a lot of debate in the community regarding exactly how powerful some Bleach characters can get to anyway. Like, some people go as high as universal level thanks to statements of Yhwach's power, I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, I'm sorry, including him saying that he would be able to destroy the Soul Society, which to my knowledge isn't even fully defined regarding how much power it would take to destroy that, but even still, I'm just really hesitant to buy Universal Bleach in the first place, and I'm even more hesitant to say that Death Battle is going to buy Universal Bleach as well. And plus, I've heard it's just been debunked by several people in the community before, and there's just not a lot of other evidence suggesting that Aizen would be capable of that level of power anyway. Now, that's not to say that Aizen isn't more powerful than Madara still, but I'm going to push power to the side for a bit just because it feels like it's the most complicated and most up for interpretation out of everything these guys have, and that's really saying something. When it comes to speed, Madara should definitely be in the faster than light range at least, as he's kept up with characters like Naruto in his stronger forms, which allow him to dodge light speed attacks, which Madara can also fire, by the way. I've also seen estimations of Naruto characters being even faster than this by looking at other speed feats and other characters' respective speed boosts, which I can honestly buy. It makes enough sense based on what we've seen and the upscaling that you could give the characters, but for Madara at his peak, we're looking at a few times the speed of light at very least, probably even higher. When it comes to Aizen's speed, it's a bit tricky considering that a lot of his speed feats just seem to stem from the fact that he went much faster than other incredibly quick characters like Ichigo in his stronger forms. Now, we know that Ichigo can travel many times the speed of lightning in his weaker forms, so if we upscale to Ichigo's stronger forms and then upscale even further to Aizen, I could see Aizen being in the faster than light range as well. I could definitely buy that. However, there seems to be more assumption-based proof that Aizen can go that fast. It seems to be more concrete proof that Madara can go that fast, or possibly even faster, like I said earlier. So I imagine the Death Battle is probably going to give the speed advantage to Madara, at least to a fair degree, but not to the point where I think that would be a game changer on its own. I could see Aizen dealing with Madara's speed at least. But of course, the main draw for this fight is not Madara and Aizen's strength and speed, but more so their unique abilities. And of course, these characters have so many of them. Both of these characters have so many abilities, and I'm not going to be able to go over all of them in this video. That would just take way too long, but I will go over what I feel is the most important, or what I feel stands out the most for these characters. So just to name a few, Madara has elemental control, summoning, resurrection, sealing, limbo clones, soul manipulation, and non-physical interaction. The Susanoo, telepathy, gravity control, precognition, paralysis, enhanced senses, healing. Holy cow. Madara also has reality warping, his truth-seeking orbs, power nullification and absorption, mental manipulation and resistances, and he can also create illusions and essentially create fake realities within people's heads. He can also resist illusions and turn parts of reality into an illusion, such as his own injuries or possibly even his own death. And a lot of these abilities are scattered throughout his special forms and tools, such as the Sharingan and Sage Mode, etc, etc. Again, just trying to be as brief as possible and probably failing hard. He's also an amazing hand-to-hand fighter and sometimes carries around special weapons, including shurikens, a katana, and a kunai. Aizen also has a number of super forms and special abilities, like his Hogyoku forms and his Kido spells. Really apologize if I butchered any of those pronunciations, but with all of that and his standard abilities, he possesses energy attacks, energy absorption, flight, regeneration, teleportation, electric attacks, sealing, barrier summoning, the black hole in a box as we all know, reality warping, invisibility, soul manipulation, and resistances, and he can also sense and interact with beings that are intangible or from different dimensions. Aizen is also a great hand-to-hand combatant and sword fighter, and he carries his sword on him called Kyoko Suigetsu, which essentially lets him manipulate his opponent's 5 senses and fully hypnotize them, creating fake scenarios and disorienting his opponents as he pleases. His enhanced awareness also allows him to resist similar techniques that are done on him, like when he once resisted an illusion that essentially reversed his entire spatial awareness. He didn't resist it immediately or anything like that, but it does show the kind of mental resistances that he has when he's at the top of his game. So with all of this crazy stuff considered, I think it's safe to say that regardless of physical power, Madara's abilities that he has and that he gains from his stronger forms are just more vast and more deadly than Aizen's on average. Don't get me wrong, they do have a lot of similar powers, and Aizen does have a lot of powerful abilities of his own, like his black coffin technique and his energy absorption, etc, etc. He has a lot of strong abilities that are unique to him. Not to mention that he could probably sense Madara's limbo clones that operate on another plane of existence, and he could resist any soul manipulation techniques. Aizen has a lot of strong counters, and he has some abilities that would be very effective on Madara. There's no doubt about that. But when looking at what would win out more times than not, at least in my opinion, Madara just seems to have stronger reality warping and space-time manipulation applications. He's also got his truth-seeking orbs, which can mess up your molecules and halt regeneration. He's got his power absorption, his power nullification, and he just seems to have way stronger techniques and better resistances when it comes to illusion creating and all kinds of mental and essence-based abilities, which would definitely help him here. Madara's abilities literally allow him to put incomprehensibly sized illusions into your head, where he can manipulate every single physical aspect and every single physical law of those illusions essentially however he wants, which is just above the kind of illusions that Aizen has resisted before to my knowledge. Aizen has used his hypnotism effectively on characters like Yhwach before, which is really impressive, don't get me wrong, but in this fight specifically, it just feels like Madara has better resistances to those kinds of techniques, and his illusions can trip up characters with really good mental resistances as well, which just show the scope of his power and the scope of his mental abilities. Again, you know, there's a lot more for both of these characters that I could bring up, I'm not denying that, but just in general, it feels like the overall scope of Madara's powers would take him further than Aizen in a long drawn-out fight. At least that's the way that I'm interpreting this fight. In general, these prediction videos are not meant for me to be able to get every single drop of information I possibly can on these characters. It's more so for me to be able to get a good grasp on the characters and a good enough grasp of the fight for me to make a prediction that I'm confident in. And based on what I know, if Aizen does get to that ridiculous universe level through scaling or whatever the hell, then yeah, it blows Madara out of the water in terms of power output. I still don't think Death Battle's gonna do that though. I really don't think that they're just going to put Aizen at that high level. You could literally do the same thing with Madara. It's like, oh, Kaguya once destroyed, you know, a dimension apparently, so now Madara's at that level, you know? But again, like, there's these really ill-defined feats in both of these universes that are so far removed from what the characters in these universes can do consistently that it just doesn't make a lot of sense to automatically assume these characters are at that high level based on ill-defined, inconsistent feats. So I really don't think Death Battle is going to place either of these characters at that ridiculously high level. And if they don't do that, then I could still see Aizen being more powerful than Madara, you know, based on the kind of scaling and power that they buy, that kind of stuff. But even then, I don't think it would be by enough of an amount that would, you know, counter or make up for Madara's speed advantage, and especially Madara's you know, abilities and hacks that I've mentioned before. And I definitely don't want to do a conditional prediction for this fight because that just tends to hurt me more than it does help me. So I'm just going to say that I don't think they're going to put Aizen at that ridiculously high level. If they do, then hey, I got it wrong. That's perfectly fine. You know, maybe they'll surprise me. I think it's possible, but I just don't think they will. And if they do what I think they're going to do, then I definitely want to say that Aizen is smarter. I can see him being more powerful by a little bit, and he does have some abilities that I think could help him in this fight, like to a good degree. But in general, I want to say that Madara's speed and the overwhelming scope of his abilities, the overwhelming power of his abilities, and just how many abilities he has that I think would be effective against Aizen, I just want to say that that is going to take him further in this fight. So I'm personally picking Madara for this fight. I think that Aizen could win for sure. I definitely think he could, and I know that I'm going to piss off a ton of people just by siding with Madara, but hey, a lot of people got pissed off when I sided with Dio and Dio versus Alucard, and I still got that one right. So I feel like at this point I just gotta go with what I believe in and just hope for the best. But anyway guys, that is the prediction. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, comment your comments down below, subscribe if you could too, that would be amazing. I am really excited for this fight, and I hope you guys are as well. Regardless of who wins, I just know it's going to be really well done, or at least I really hope it's going to be well done. I think it has the potential to be an amazing episode, even by Season 8 standards. So yeah, I'm just hoping for the best. I think it's going to be a good episode. But yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.